raise people consciousness. True artist, sometimes I feel like a narcissist. So much drive, ain't no telling when I'ma park this shit. But if I run into traffic, then I'ma spark this pill. Are we living to die, or are we dying to live? Everybody got a purpose, it's to harness your gift. Whatever you smoking on, make sure it's strong as your will. Let the other niggas tell it, it might tarnish your wheels. We all in the same boat, how you gon' stun on your peers? You never be free if you can't conquer your fears.
Trying new shit, you know what I'm saying? I'd advise y'all to document y'all's life too. Me, I'm just documenting everything I've already done. I mean, the things that's important to me, the things that I know I'm gonna need documented for the future. Sometimes it's for the case for the specifics. Sometimes it's for the case of the randoms, but to make sure that I know I go forward with, developing content the way that I want to develop content. Especially in the Web3 space coming. Shit. I'm open for a lot. But again, this episode, this episode, I want to talk about my experience working in a prison. Because again, like working in a prison is not my life plan at all. It's not my life plan at all. It's not something that I've been like, you know what, I'm gonna do this and I'm gonna do this and then I'm gonna work in a fucking prison so that way they can get me to. No, it was not in my plan. But it's not a job that was like I had to do. It was just something that, you know what, it was brought to me and I had to take in like consideration of a lot of different things, like just moving out of state because the job is out of state, and like leaving my family behind. Like my dad's sick, like my mom's taking care of him. My wife was in school. Our son started high school. Another one just 4 years old, not in school yet, but you know what I'm saying, learning and growing. I'm having to leave all of that behind. You know what I mean, just to take an opportunity that I felt like was at least very, very useful and beneficial for the time being. Because again, like being an entrepreneur, you have like your ups and downs of like how your business is performing, and you until you get a good scale of building that up, because again, it's gonna have ups and downs regardless. But until you can have that whole up and down on the way up instead of up and down and like it's fucking pop locking, you know what I'm saying? Till you get your business straight, it's best to at least be open to other opportunities, you know what I'm saying? Especially if it's money in something that's simple and that you know how to do. Like that's even easier. You don't even have to learn nothing new, but it's always best to learn as well. But the job came at a time where I'm waiting on another job to start, and I'm like, I get a message, or I get a call, missed a call, I get the text message about job opportunity working in prison. Hey, you pulling cable, setting up conduit, normal construction type shit. It was like $25 an hour and per diem, $500 per diem. So I was like, all right, it's like 6 months to a year contract, but at the same time, I had like a month or so until my new job starts. So I'm like, man, I got all this time. I'm gonna either just be sitting here, not doing nothing, not making any money other than maybe Uber driving and selling art and whatever other items I sold, whether it be games, books, or anything. But until again, like you find that leverage of the ups and downs, I mean, opportunities like this come and you either take it or you don't. I happen to take the position. Now, again, I got really referred by the guy who I'm working with, and who actually reached out to me about the job itself. And I thought about it, I'm like, man, I ain't worked with him. I ain't really seen him, talked to him really since we worked back then, doing same thing that we're doing in the prisons, um, just construction stuff, cables, pulling cable, setting up conduit. Um, and I was like, man, that's like years ago that it's been since working with him. And I'm like, well, I guess you know what the positive thing is that I had to think about. He felt that I was at least credible or valuable enough to reach out to and offer this opportunity. Because I could have been a sorry ass worker. I could have just been uh, anybody, but of course I'm me. You know, right? So he reached out and he was like, "Hey, you know, got this opportunity. It's basically like you making like 7,000 a month." And I'm like, 7,000 a month. Well, I ain't making 7,000 a month now, and I could make this 7,000 in a month before I start making 7,000 in a month. And I'm like, I can actually go ahead and take this opportunity because again, I'm not doing anything. And sometimes, like, uh, you'll feel when it's like a heavy load on you as far as like things to take up on. I didn't get that feeling. I was getting the feeling of like, yo, I needed to do this. I'm not fully understanding why I needed to do this, but I know I needed this money. So um, let me go ahead and take this offer. So, boom, like, all right, cool, working in the damn prison. And first week was like bonkers, right? Um, you know, people losing their phones. They thought it was our crew, and you can't have phones in there. You know what I'm saying? So the warden's gonna get the call. Anything getting found like that. Um, but no, it wasn't ours. It was like another staff members or whatever. But regardless, yeah, somebody died that week. They hung themselves. It was like this Asian dude. I don't know what he was in there for, but hey, it is what it is. I mean, another guy got stabbed. Uh, man, the guards, but of course, they be yelling at the inmates. I mean, within reason, duh. But I'm like, man, it's a very like toxic place to work at by choice. You know what I mean? Like, people be willingly choosing to work in a prison. You're like, I'm gonna apply for this prison and hope to get this job. You know what I'm saying? Like, again, that's never my forte. But you know what I mean, we in the same boat as the ones who chose to work in a prison. Like, we just happen to be contractors that happen to be contracted for this position in this location, and that's really just what we're working with. But honestly, like, I'll be looking at a lot of other guys that's around, like the prisoners, not my coworkers, but the prisoners themselves, and in the state that they are in. Honestly, like, it brings me into a deeper understanding of who they are as people, because we always hear like somebody going to jail or whatever, somebody go to jail, but rarely do people go inside of a prison to maybe visit somebody or to work there. But I know probably many uh, billions of people don't know what the inside of a prison is like. And I mean, the inside of the one that I'm in, not in, but the one I'm out working in, is actually like a private owned prison. So, uh, I mean, again, I look at these guys around and I'm like, man, I want to ask them personally, be like, hey man, what's the story? Like, man, what you in here for? Like, I honestly feel like that's like too personal, especially for somebody who they will be sharing that information with that doesn't stay in there and that has so much freedom that they would long for. You know what I mean? To have. Um, I mean, it's a lot of people that are some characters. Like they some jokesters. Like for real. Like they be cracking jokes. Like just like me. And that's the scary part about it. Like, yo, it's people that don't look like they would be in there, and they in there, and like certain not characteristics, but like I guess the way that I mean they could be very funny, like the characters. You wouldn't know that they was like a bad person. You know what I mean? You wouldn't know that they did X, Y, and Z to get in there, but you know, like, hey, like they funny, it's a good time or whatever. But I mean, honestly, as I'm there, I feel like I'm developing more of a depth of like reason why I'm I'm there. Like, why am I in this presence? So certain things has been coming to my mind. Like for one, lately I've been thinking of having a prison art show. This is way before I've gotten the call to work with my partner in prison. And I was like thinking of a prison art show. And I was like, if there was a way, because people are in prison and some of them are in there and they shouldn't be. So I have to take that into consideration within those who have been convicted and should be in there. At the end of the day, they all still have like families. Um, if there was a way to have the prisoner's art itself auctioned off and the proceeds of that money would go to either their families or families of their victims or something like that. However, like it can be set up to not benefit like the state as much, but to benefit the the prisoners, the, their families, the victims' families, like other people that's involved into the situation of money being made off of them being there in the first place. I'm just saying, like, yo, it's those types of ideas that come to mind when I'm like in this space, but it's at the same time, like, yo, I'm not there for art, I'm there for construction stuff. Construction, again, is something I didn't go to school for either. I went to school for architecture. Yes, we need floor plans in this position, um, but it's again like electrical stuff. I didn't go to school for that. Those are things that I kind of like picked up along the way. Um, just learning about different trades, but now that trade school is kind of more of a push to um, include as like an option of education after high school. Like I'm all for it. Like trade school is definitely cheaper. Um, but I didn't have to go to trade school to get the trade that I know, if that makes sense. Because YouTube University, here we are. Um, it's very, very educational, depending on what you're searching for. But yeah, I didn't go to school for construction, but I'm doing construction type stuff in front of these prisons. And yo, some of them is like just they in a room either by choice or not. Uh, and some of them are like walking around. They'll be around you. Like it's not like uh, nobody's watching. Like we have like an escort or two that works with the prisons. Um, they're always in the pods where we're working at. So we have to go to different units. We gotta go unit 1, 2 through like 8. But each unit has like 3 different pods. 3 different pods. This pod might be like a place where like all the inmates in that unit have COVID. And this um, unit might just be like the same as the other one. It's just like the rest of those, or like certain specifics or whatever. However they do, but it's like 3 pies per unit, and um, it's at least different, like 8 plus different units. But the prisoners there, sometimes you're moving about and you're not in that pod. They could be at the window, just looking, maybe trying to bang, get the guards' attention, but they be yelling, "Hey yo, hey yo," or throwing up gang signs. It's just what it is, but it's real life. But you see that shit, and guess what you in there for? You in there working in front of like all of these dudes. A lot of the main staff, like head staff, are not black. They're majority white, but the black ones, the workers the employees that are black, most of them are the guards that are in the unit, or maybe certain case managers here and there. But a lot of the higher ups, all that white money is spread around in that private prison, man. But here you are, I'm a free man. I'm working a trade that I was like basically self-taught, or on the job training. I can't even say self-taught, but on the job training. But like these brothers is looking at you and they like, man, they seeing something positive. At the end of the day, something negative had to happen for them to be behind bars in the first place. But you are there as like an example of something positive. And that's the thing that I keep in my mind the most, I would say. Like, hey, you know what? I'm here as an example, because every day my prayer in the morning includes thanking the Lord for blessing me to be a blessing. That way I may be a blessing to help bless somebody else. That's every day. I'm looking to bless somebody in some kind of way possible, whether it's like educating them, whether it's finances, love, anything. Honestly, I could be taking care of myself, which could be affecting the level of somebody else. Like, however, I'm just doing the best way I can do to be the best me and earn the blessings that I look to have. You know what I'm saying? So that's really like my ultimate experience up to this point in the prison. Like, I really got about 2 weeks left, but on this job, but that's what's been on my mind lately. So yeah, that's me working in the prison so far. If y'all have any questions, y'all drop it below. But for more different stories about me, stay tuned, because I'm gonna be dropping some more content over time. I know after November I will be having something special for y'all. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna drop it in another video, because now I'm building content. Y'all done fucked up and let me in the internet game. It's fucking over. You know what I'm saying? I'm lying. That's what people say all the time. I might be inconsistent. I don't know. I might be procrastinating. Who knows? I don't know. But I'm here now. If you're here now, thank you. So subscribe, like for more. That's all I gotta say right now. This is just raw footage. I'm trying to do as much content as I can. Raw footage. One take straight through. Fuck all the editing shit. What you see is what you get. You know what I mean? If I might pull a Michelob bottle in this hole, it's fucking empty. Fuck it. You know what I'm saying? Who cares? We're here to have fun. We only live once. Guess what? I'm choosing to live, motherfuckers. So, again, thank y'all. Till next time. Peace. I almost did just a deuce, but whatever. Peace. Peace.